Viewers, it has come to this. It's the ace match of the first playoff set between CJ Entus and the Hite SPARKYZ. Excitement ensues in this best of 15 series. It's tied 3-3. We're playing two best of sevens to see if any of the teams can get up to 8 wins. And here we go. Leta indeed is the ace player for the SPARKYZ. And CJ, I think with a surprising move here, has picked Movie as their ace player. I think they knew that Leta was a pretty surefire bet, and Protoss is his weakest matchup. So they've decided to send Movie in a bit of a game of psychological one-upmanship. Does Movie have a chance of winning? Yes, he does. I think one need only to look at his game against Fantasy on Outsider not all that long ago to see that he is a player that can definitely bring a competitive game to some of the top-tier players like Leta. Is Leta still the favorite? Also yes, but not by such a huge margin as all that. So this should be pretty intense. And we're on Colosseum, which I believe is also a Protoss favored map. So, yeah, I don't think the SPARKYZ could have risked sending a Zerg out here, and yeah, Colosseum's not a good map for the Zerg in general, so I don't think CJ could have sent effort out. So I think it became pretty clear after we saw that Zerg's not so great for this map. Yarnak would not be out for the SPARKYZ, and CJ just has a lot of players to choose from. They could have gone for another Terran. They could have even pulled Much off of the bench to play him, but they've opted to send out their young Protoss gun Movie here. And let's see how this one transpires. This is, I think, one of the. It's like you can justify this ace match, but it's one of the more unexpected lineup decisions we could have expected from CJ Entus here. Leta for the SPARKYZ is pretty predictable. Let's see though. Still the early game. Leta's versus Protoss, yeah, it's his weakest matchup, but statistically, is that so bad? Answer to that, no, he's 52.5% against Protoss, but it's just that he's 67% against Terran and 67% against Zerg. So it is kind of clearly his weakest matchup, but it's still a good, strong matchup. Movie, on the other hand, his versus Terran is not super fantastic. He's 40%. He's 4-6. So, yeah. Again, Movie's been facing strong competition, which might somewhat account for this, but he is not statistically such a hot Protoss versus Terran player. He has gone for the 12 Nexus, which is a fairly safe move on this map because it's kind of a backdoor base and it's all defended through that one choke, but it is still going to open him up to some early aggression from Leta if Leta decides to go for that. Movie should probably be following this up with 2 gates, with 2 fast gates and Dragoon range. That is the standard way to proceed after a 12 or 14 Nexus. In the meantime, Factory going up for Leta, and there are a few options for how some early pressure can be brought on. There can be a 2 Factory push. There can be even bunker rushing can be successful in this kind of situation against the Protoss, even though that's typically a versus Zerg tactic. Some Marines are on the move across the map, but I don't know what that scouting SCV in Movie's base is doing, and it's actually doing nothing. Yeah, just going over the positions, though it should be pretty clear right now. Leta is the Terran player in blue at the 1 o'clock, and Movie is the Protoss in purple at the 4. And let's see, that neutral sunken colony is apparently the higher priority threat at this moment than that fast Nexus over at Movie's base, as that's what's being attacked. Though I think Leta has realized that he's not going to be able to put the sort of pressure on that he'd like. but I think he's also confident in the notion that he's a better player. So he probably thinks that he can't attack this early Nexus head on yet, because they're going to be range upgraded Dragoons out pretty soon. But Leta might think that since he's the better player, or the favored player, that he can just take the slight economic hit and just come back later and just outplay Movie, and that is fully possible. Let's see if that's the case. Though I would have to say, Movie is a dangerous player to underestimate. I think Jaedong has learned that lesson, as well as a number of other players. Stork did early in Movie's career. So yeah, Movie has shown himself in his career to not be a slouch by any means. And it's actually Movie who's putting on some early pressure at the front of Leta's base, though that's going to amount to nothing. Vulture mines are out, and a starport now going up for Leta. So it looks like Leta is going to try to get himself economically back with a Vulture drop, which could work out really well. There's a robotics facility going up for Movie, which is very, very standard, and I think that Movie is going to be looking to take his third base pretty soon as well. Range is about to finish upgrading, and that Robo is nearly done. Citadel as well. That's interesting. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of late DT drop, or if this is going to be just looking for Storm. Really, the tech options are pretty wide open for Movie here. We could see we could see DT drops, we could see Reavers, we could see just about anything. And that Citadel is in a pretty cleverly hidden position for the moment anyway. Eventually a scan is going to pick up on it, but let's see, there's the starport and control tower up for Leta, and the Academy as well, so he's going to get scan, and he's going to mine up the next base location for Movie, so that Movie won't be able to expand there until we get some observers, and it's going to be observers with the Templar Archives and the Stargate, so it looks like it's going to be some fast 2-base arbiters from Movie, and this is a very interesting choice. It's a slightly risky build, but it's definitely viable. It's going to depend also just on Movie denying scouting for a bit, but with that dropship coming in, heading right toward it. Oh no, but the dropship just drops and leaves. Are the Vultures going to spot? Are the Vultures going to spot this tech? In the meantime, though, this Vulture drop doing moderate economic damage, catching a few probes. But now, I think the bigger damage is that the Vultures have now spotted the fast arbiters, and that's going to give Leta a bit more time to prepare. The Arbiter Tribunal is still on the way up, but I think Leta has to know that it's not going to be carriers at this point. And now it looks like Movie is looking to take that third base, which might be a little bit risky. I think that's going to open him up to a timing window while he's expanding and getting Arbiter tech, where he's just going to be a bit thin on the ground. In the meantime, that dropship is angling around the other side of Movie's base, but Movie has got Dragoons on the move. There's that first Arbiter building, and another drop, more Vulture harassment. That's 2 probes down, 3 probes down in that drop, but that dropship is possibly going to be stranded, and we might even see something a little bit wacky from Movie, like building a Corsair to just chase that dropship down and kill it, though I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. That probe just defusing that mine, Demolition's expert probe there, and not able to set up the expansion because a Vulture comes by and kills it. So nice work by Leta delaying that third expansion even longer. But eventually that Nexus is going to go up. The dropship has now escaped, and more factories are going up for Leta, as well as an armory, and I believe that was spinning, though it was a little bit hard to see in this video quality that I'm watching it at. Arbiter is probably going to pop out pretty soon, but critically, Leta is taking a third base too, and Movie is going to want to stay a base ahead. It looks like Movie is looking to set up one at the sort of 630 position on the map. I don't know if he's taken the Nexus there yet, but he will soon. Let's see, there's a pylon block up for Movie as well to stop Vulture harassment going up the ramp. That's good, though the dropships could do it. Still more factories coming out for Leta here, so Leta might be going for a bit of a timing attack, but that first Arbiter is out and is immediately scanned just as it pops, so Leta really seems to have his timing for dealing with this sort of thing down pat.